And we are live. Hello, is myself and Comics here with an indie interview today. Today we have a newcomer, Nick Edwards. Applause, everybody, applause.
Please
All
don't
right.
clap. That's okay.
And today we're going to be looking at his comic campaign. I want to know if I'm saying this right. Apostasy?
Yes, the Apostasy. You got it.
Yay. I've been wanting to say apostrophe by accident
Close.
so badly.
Close.
And so what does apostasy even mean?
Sure. So an apostasy, the word is essentially like a crisis of faith. Like when someone perhaps has faith in whether that's like a higher power or a system or something, and they essentially start to lose it. And that is somewhat what this story is about. So the quick 3-second pitch is like if Lone Wolf and Cub was set in hell. And the story follows a demon named Gainsbourg who lives in hell and for eons has worked as a torturer in the deepest circle of hell. And so he works scourging the souls of the damned. And the story is about what happens if a character like that were to one day go to work and encounter a soul that he doesn't deserve to be there, or he believes. And so that soul in question is the soul of a 12-year-old girl named Katie. And so Gainsbourg and Katie are kind of our lone wolf and cub in this dynamic, and they learn to rely on each other for in their search for answers and possibly a way to get Katie out of the situation that she's found herself in.
Aw, that's so awesome. I love stories like that. You did end up getting an applause.
Yeah, no, thanks. Very nice.
Welcome, dead guy. Yay. All right. I have heard about Lone Wolf and Cub. They're on my list to watch, I believe, for both the live action and the anime. I believe there's an anime, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it's just like a dynamic that we've also seen in some other stuff too. If you've watched or played The Last of Us, that's a great lone wolf and cub dynamic, right? Another recent one would be Logan, with the Logan character and then the Laura Kinney character. You know, just kind of like an old grizzled vet, and then maybe perhaps a young companion who kind of softens them up to a degree. I think it's a great dynamic that almost always works.
Has there ever been a dynamic where instead of an old man, it's like an older woman?
I'm sure. I'm sure there has to be.
I feel like it does exist, but I can't prove it yet because I can't think of anything.
Yeah, that is there has to be, right? Like maybe just I can't think of one right now. All the ones that come to my head are I guess older men. So that's interesting. But I'm going to look into that after we get off this today. That's a good question.
I'm making them think. Is it possible I can be able to play the video?
Yeah, sure.
Woo! And also, like, volume check, everybody, because even though I say, yes, I would like audio with the tab, it's automatically on. Sometimes it doesn't play. All right. And we are in November 2025. I love that the credits that you added in.
Yeah. I mean, hey, thanks iMovie, and I gotta give the credit there to my girlfriend Kelly who made that trailer. Um,
Thank
so
you,
yeah,
Kelly.
no, all shout outs to Kelly. She's the best. But yeah, no, the like it's kind of cool what you can do with iMovie and stuff. All that kind of stuff is just loaded in there. It's kind of, she would kill me if she heard me say this, but because she put a lot of work into that, I was there while she was doing it. But a lot of it kind of as simple as like dragging and dropping and just like cropping
Mm.
images. It's really cool. You can make some really cool stuff with it.
This is why we love iMovie.
Yes.
Jeremy, dead guy, says Ripley and Newt from Aliens can be
There
a
we
good
go.
example. There you
That's
go.
yeah, that's a great example. Yeah.
So he also is a sound guy. So he says the music is epic, and then says the unique artwork makes it feel dark as F. And then he's getting Johnny the homicidal maniac vibes,
You know,
which is
so
a good
the artist that I worked on this with is a guy, a friend of mine named Dave Schuler. And yeah, Dave is awesome. We met at an art fair outside of Pittsburgh, and he was a vendor there. He had his art on display, and it was super creepy and freaky and very dark in all the best ways. And so I was drawn to that immediately. Um, and so you know, when he drew this, it was very much in his style and everything. So yeah, very dark. But I, you know, super happy with how it turned out and the work that he did.
same. And then he's like looking into iMovie immediately, lol.
Yeah, it really is pretty cool.
All right, let's take a look. And then we did get the quick pitch from you. It was like Lone Wolf and Cub set in hell. And then it looks like we have a timeline. So, good news for backers. The book is already complete. The art has been totally finished. That means as soon as we secure backer funds and get our files in order, we'll be ready to send the book off to print. Backers should expect to receive their book sometime in January or February 2026. Of course, you'll be updated through every step of the process. Communication is key, which is what we love over here.
Yeah, big time. I've been in the position before where, you know, you do a crowdfunding campaign when the book's not fully done. And that's just like then so much stress on the back end because, you know, you feel like, oh my gosh, people are waiting, like, let's get it out. But then of course you still want to do a good job and make a good product, right? And with comics especially, it takes time, especially for those of us in the indie scene, like, you know, with big boy jobs and other life responsibilities, right? You gotta just find the time to do it. So that was something I wanted to be deliberate about with this campaign, was not even think about running it until we had a completed book. So very happy about that, at least able to cut down on a little stress there. But yeah, definitely looking at fulfilling all backer orders early next year.
Nice. And then Dead Guy said that he heard you say drawn to it. Was the pun intended?
No, puns are rarely intended, but always fun.
But and always appreciated.
Mhm.
So we did see a little bit of the interiors from the video. I'm guessing either more is added on the interiors here in the campaign or it's the same thing.
You, there's some overlap for sure. A lot of what you'll see, the finished pages that we included in the campaign that you've got on your screen there, a lot of that you'll also see in that trailer. The full book is going to be 48 pages though, so quite a bit of art for quite a bit of bang for your buck, I would say.
I was like 48 pages. That's really freaking good. And this is also your third campaign
That's
that you
correct.
got.
Yes.
How was your experience with those other two?
Great, great. For the first two, I did. Those were both longer projects too. So yeah, this new one, the Apostasy, is 48 pages. The first two that I did were both around 90 pages each. And
Wow.
Yeah. And those are two great books that I'm super super happy with how they turned out. I did both of those first two books with my good friend Scott Beecher. He drew both of them. The first one that we did is a slasher book called Gator Man Kills. 3 second pitch for that one is Con Air meets the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a lot of fun, very much an homage to gritty, grindhousey slasher movies from like the 70s and 80s. Super fun. And then the second one that we did is more of a contemporary thriller called Stilettos. And
Ooh.
both of those turned out great. And yeah, so I love working with Scott. Scott and I, we co-run our independent label, Unearthly Comics, together. And so plan on making books with Scott, as long as he'll draw stuff that I write. But it was nice just sort of branching out, making a new friend, and working with Dave on this new book.
Awesome. What made you want to do like 90 to 48, or was that not intentional, or it just happened?
It just sort of happened that way. With this project with Dave, just since we were, well, I met him back in fall of 2022 and actually wrote this project after we met because I wanted to write something that would play to his strengths as an artist. And so I just, we're still getting to know each other. And this is the longest project that he's worked on. He had done, a short story in an anthology prior. But, these things take time. And I just, with this story, I just wanted to go a little shorter this time.
Nice. And I love the colors that you added. Like I've done interviews with people uh where they use the black and white format, or like sometimes white and or grayscale format, that kind of thing. And then sometimes they'll use like red and blue to
Mhm.
signify like some things going on. But here for you, I see yellows, oranges, blues, greens. The greens I'm very surprised about.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I think around the time I wrote this script, I had just done a reread of Frank Miller's Sin City, which are such great books. And he does a lot of creative stuff with just little flashes of color in there and mostly black and white. And so I think that was probably on my brain too. But Dave was down for it. And so, yeah, we have some little creative flourishes with the colors, both in the art. And I actually, for the first time, I lettered this comic. So we decided to have some fun with the colors for the letters too. We've got some demon characters in here and some human characters. And so with the demons specifically, I wanted to give each major character kind of their own speech color. And so that was fun for sure. Probably added some time in the lettering process, but I thought it turned out pretty well.
I think so too. That's a lot of thought to go into something so creatively done. And like this one, you see like a little bit of red, yellow,
Mhm.
some like reddish, orangish, and then I just love the style too.
Yeah, that's Dave. He makes it look awesome.
Then we have covers.
Yes. Yeah, that's
This
our
is
that's our main cover that Dave himself drew and then actually painted. So very 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 happy with how that one turned out.
oh, while we're here, let me check out the comments because I can't see while I'm on the
Sure.
Kickstarter. He's like, wow, 48 pages is thick. Apparently, Trash Polka is one of his favorites. And then Sin City is effing amazing. I've heard great things about Sin City as well. And
Oh
then
yeah,
he
it's
also
awesome.
likes the black speech bubbles. I really love the black speech bubbles, but that's because my favorite color is black. I'm biased.
Well, yeah, thanks a lot, a dead guy. No, that's cool. And yeah, Sin City is epic. It's really good. It's super gritty and dark, and I think it's Frank Miller before he kind of became a caricature of himself. Did Sin City? And I love so many Frank Miller comics, but yeah, Sin City rocks. So yeah, and
Totally.
then what you got up here is this is our variant cover that was done by the artist Sean Koss, and I was blown away when I saw it. It looks really awesome. Very very happy with how it turned out, and very appreciative of Sean for his great work.
Hmm. It does look beautiful. Oh my gosh, you got so much great artists on this.
Yeah, I'm very very happy, very very thankful.
All right, so we only got two covers, just a standard and a variant. And then we have you and Dave as the author, as like you said, you both are co partners in doing your publishing company. Was it Earthly Comics, you said?
Unearthly Comics, and so
Unearthly.
Dave, yeah, no, so Dave actually is not part of the Unearthly team. That's me, and it's a little confusing. So sorry for any confusion there, but me
I'm
and
just dumb and can't listen. It's
no,
fine.
you're not dumb at all. Throwing a lot of names around. No, so I worked with Dave on this book. Dave Schuler drew this book, and he makes it look awesome. But I run Unearthly Comics with my buddy Scott Beecher, who's also an indie comics artist.
I will remember that. Scott. Scott was the artist. Ah. Oh, he lives in Ohio. And then we have the rewards. So we do have the digital edition for $10. And
Hmm.
then oh, it's also accessible via Global Comics.
Yes.
Uh is it accessible already or it will be in the future?
No, no, it's not accessible yet. I want to make sure that any backers get their copies first, rather than put it out digitally. So it'll be made available once fulfillment has happened, and once I've been able to get those physical books out for sure. So early next year, likely. But yeah, Global Comics is where we put all of our comics digitally. It's a great site to use. You can check out the Unearthly Comics publisher page there. All of our comics are up there.
Nice. And I'll be able to see if I can get that and put it into the description. Right now I only have the Kickstarter.
Okay.
So I'll be able to get everything once we have it in order. Yay.
Yeah.
And then we have the standard cover for just $5 more, and then also your name in the thank you page. And then we have the variant, also $15, same price as the standard cover, which doesn't happen a lot, and then your name on the thank you page. And then if you would like both covers, you can have them both for $25, which is kind of a discount, $5 off, and your name on the thank you page. And then we have the, is that pronounced rhetoric?
Or no, retail.
Retail. I can't read either. It's fine. Retail bundle, $35 of 5 copies of the standard cover for retailers. We love the retailers.
We do love the retailers, absolutely.
Oh, and we got some add-ons. We got
Hmm.
stickers, 4 packs. Oh, so you could get all 4.
Hmm. That's right. Yeah,
Okay,
no,
so
this is some of Dave's art that he went and actually fully colored after the fact. And who doesn't like stickers, right? I love stickers.
right.
So yeah, just little goodies, and then there's a bookmark right there, which also features actually one of my favorite panels from the book, and Dave went and colored that too and made it look really cool. So you can get either the stickers or the bookmark or both.
Oh, that's nice. And then seeing in black and white is already good enough. And then you see it splash of color and you're like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
And then we have the add-on combo, like you said, you can get both. And oh, update, stretch goal achieved. Yay!
Yay is right. Yeah, this is actually new. And I actually made this update to the campaign page about like 2 hours ago. So this is like brand new. But yeah, so we just we again super fortunate, super thankful. But we crossed our goal, our minimum funding goal pretty early on. So Dave and I were just thinking of ways that we, an additional way we could say thank you to our backers. And so now all current and any future backers will receive 2 by 17 posters, one featuring the art from our standard cover, and one featuring the art from our variant cover. So just again, another way just to say thanks for people who've supported the book.
Aw, he cares about us little people. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey, I'm a little person too, so I'm right there with you.
And then risk and challenges. As mentioned above, the book is already complete. The art has been finished. And honestly, you met your goal. So all we have to do
Yes,
is expect January, February for the stuff to shippity ship.
yes, like it or not, we are going to be making an actual book now. Since we hit that goal, we now have a legal obligation to put that book into people's hands. So, yeah, no, it's coming, and I'm excited to get it out in the world.
Yay, congrats!
Yeah, thank you.
And then we only have 6 days left to go. Oh, I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, the campaign we wanted it to run for the month of November, so the campaign will close at noon on December 1st.
Ooh, that's good to know. Because sometimes I'm like, how much hours do I have left? How much hours do I have left? Do I have money in
Hmm.
my account? How much hours do I have left?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it's anxiety inducing, and that's my fault, actually. And then let's
I've
go back to the
been there,
comments.
been there right with you, so I understand.
So, Dead Guy says that the contrast for the black speech bubbles kind of brings your eye to it, and it's not overdone. So, it's like easy on the eyes.
Cool, good, good. Yeah, we don't want people to strain themselves for sure.
He does love the name Unearthly Comics. A Dead Guy loves that, Unearthly Comics. And then, of
Yeah,
course, hot demon ladies are a plus. I agree.
yeah. Seconded. No argument there.
And then, of course, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much. All right, so it looks like we can be able to stop right over here then. I finished a lot earlier than I thought I would.
Yeah, no, this has been great. Thank you very much for having me on.
No problem. All right, guys, the Kickstarter is in the description and in the pinned comment if you want to check it out. Any other stuff like global comics and other stuff, probably like a website, social media, etc. I will be able to put it on there once I get them. Thank you all for visiting and looking at this comic campaign. There's only 6 days left. Funding's already done. Now you just have to wait to get the books in your hands. Of course, usually digital is going to be a lot faster.
Generally, yeah, but we're gonna try to do everything as I guess concurrently as possible. So hopefully nobody is left in the lurch waiting too long. But you know what they say. There's that Mike Tyson quote that everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. So it will. We'll see what happens.
I love that. Actually, before we go, can I ask what your origin story is for making comic books?
Oh yeah, no, sure. Yeah, so I mean, I've loved comics since I was a kid. Um, I My parents would take me and my sister to half price books a lot, and they would always have these big bundles of like 20 or 25 like random back issues for I don't know like $4 or something like that. So each time we would go,
Nice.
I would buy one, and there's a lot of great stuff in there, right? Like Uncanny X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man, Action Comics,
Always.
all the your meat and potatoes stuff. And like so many kids, right? I just love them, love the characters, love the action, love the colors and everything like that. And then um, I've read the Captain Underpants books,
Ah,
and
Captain Underpants.
yeah, those books are great. Shout out Dave Pilkey. And those books are like about two kids who make their own comics, right? And I
Oh,
remember, yeah, I remember reading those books and thinking like I want to do that like those characters. I just thought that was so cool. And so I wrote and drew my own crappy comics when I was a kid. My dad would help me staple the pages together and everything. And then as I got older, I figured out that I couldn't really draw at all to save my life, but yeah, I knew I still wanted to write, wanted to do it. So I've just been a long time comic book fan, and long time wanted to write, and here we are.
I'm so happy about your journey.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a great ride, and I've met a lot of really awesome people along the way.
Nice, as you should, and of
Mhm.
supporters as well. That guy's asking if there's a sequel in the works, or is this like a one shot?
I think we leave the story in a place where there's definitely fertile ground for more. I wouldn't necessarily hold your breath anytime soon. If something does happen, which I don't think either Dave or I are opposed to, but it probably won't happen, in anywhere in the near future. So, but never say
Mm-hmm.
never, right?
Of course. And then he's like, aha, I did the same thing, minus the dad.
There we go.
And then, of course, half priced books are the goat. Yes.
Strongly agreed. Half price books is the best.
All right. Looks like we can finally end it here. Thank you so much for coming by, Nick.
No, Bianca, thanks for having me.
Of course. All right. We're going to see you guys next time. Bye bye.